Hi guys, it's Jane. I realized when I showed you the Mary Maxim August knit club for the month, I didn't even show you the pattern or the yarn. This is the pattern that they have, and the yarn that they sent me is it's called the Louisa Harding yarn. Pitterissima? Look at those colors. And it is a knit pattern, and that yarn is actually 75% wool and 25 viscose. It does not have a colorway other, I don't know, unless you consider Kandinsky. It's got a color number 215 and a lot number 2313. But it is some beautiful yarn. Very soft. And I did go ahead and I started the pattern. It's a knit pattern. Yeah. Not getting to those whips. I have every reason, to excuse those whips, to just keep putting them away. But I realized I didn't show that to you, and I thought, well, I need to go back and show you that. This pattern has in it the Kitchener stitch as the way you close up the hood. I've never done the Kitchener stitch, so that's going to be a learning experience for me. When I knit socks, I knit them toe up, and then I usually use one of the sweet tomato heels, just because it's my preferred heel. Like I said, if I do knit them, I wear them inside out. Socks I prefer actually crochet. I prefer that feel on my feet rather than the bumps of the knit, the purl side, which I find hilarious because it doesn't bother me wearing it as scarves or any shawls or shirts or anything else. Sweaters doesn't bother me, but socks drives me nuts. And I also thought I would talk with you. I'd talked with you about the doctor and the husband both using the word diet. Well, I can understand the husbands. I can understand the doctors. But I will tell you, with this doctor, probably about a year and a half ago, I was following a keto diet. I had lost over 45 pounds on it, and my doctor said that's a dangerous diet, get off it. So she wanted me to go to Weight Watchers, but to watch the carbs. Well, and as a result, I gained all that weight back plus some. So, I've gone back on the keto diet. I am drinking more water. And, of course, in my water, Seta likes the true lemon in her tea. And I like true lime in my water. Because can't always find, a little slice of lime. They always have slices of lemon. The only restaurant that I can get a slice of lime in my water is the Mexican restaurant. So, yeah, I've gone back on keto diet, and, it helped a lot with my inflammation. It helped a lot with a lot of other things. The weight loss was good. It was fast. Didn't have to do real strenuous exercise. I could just do regular exercise. Didn't have to go out there, run marathons, and still lose weight. Which, at my size, I can't run a marathon. Let's be honest. Just not happening. So, she had called yesterday and asked me how, the lungs were, because that's been a continuing issue. And I said, well, they're a little better. Had a little bit of setback but I think it had to do with the ragweed because they were cutting grass and it has ragweed out there, and I breathed it in, and yesterday my lungs were really sore and I had issues. So, because I went outside without a mask. Why? Because I was putting things in the car to take to donate. So I wasn't going out in the public. So I didn't need my mask. But I got hit with that and wound up with a little bit of trouble last night. Much better today. Although the voice is a little raspier today due to that ragweed allergy. But when she was talking, I said, yeah, it's going pretty good. I've lost 5 pounds so far. And she said, well, great. Just exactly what are you doing? I said, well, I'm just cutting out the starches and a lot of the carbs and sugar. That's all I'm telling her. Because, quite frankly, I felt 100% better on keto. My arthritis didn't hurt as bad. Didn't have as many flare-ups with the fibromyalgia. So, sometimes you just have to go against the doctor and look out for yourself. And I'll tell you part of the reason I did that. There is a website, I think it's called Dollars for Doctors. I think it's through ProPublica. I'm not sure if that's the name of the website, but you can put your doctor's name in and the state they live in, and you can see how much money they receive from drug companies. Well, she's always pushing these new insulin, drugs for diabetes on me. And I got to wondering, is she making money off of it? She is. A lot each year. So, and I do know that the American Diabetes Association uses a diet that is pretty high in carbs. It's not one that's really good for diabetics to begin with. Even in their training with dietitians, at the very end of their booklet is a superb diet for diabetics, which is a low-carb diet. But we all know the history of the American Diabetic Association and the FDA's with their food pyramid and food recommendations. They followed something to help the grain farmers and the farmers get their products out there. And everything we have either has some kind of sugar in it, corn syrups, some kind of corn, some kind of grain that's high in carbs. So, and I've known that all along, and it's bothered me. Because sometimes we have to listen to what our body likes and adjust to. And quite frankly, I have always enjoyed meat over everything else. Now, granted, I do like a baked potato every once in a while. So, this should be a rather interesting experiment. And while I understand I'm not quite telling my doctor the truth, my body feels a lot better. So, I'm going to have to pray on that, I guess, huh? So, that's what I'm doing for that portion. For the diet that the doctor wanted. For the yarn diet, I have started going through a couple of the totes and pulling yarns for next month's prayer shawl group, so that we'll have yarn to use. My husband looked at me and he said, I don't know what's going on. I said, you said the word yarn diet. I said, we both know that I can't give it all away, although I'd like to, couldn't afford it, the mailing cost. So quite a bit of it will go to prayer shawl. I said I am going to try to get myself down to 4 totes. He looked at me and he said, "Are you ill?" I said, "Probably." I said, "But we have a lot of crap in this house that we've been hanging on to, and yarn, quite frankly, is something I've been hoarding, and you and I both hoard. We have hoarding tendencies." He looked at me and he said, "No, I'm a pack rat." Pack rat, hoarding, pretty much the same thing. So I've been going through things, things in the kitchen that I haven't used for at least 6 years. They are going to Goodwill. Utensils, those kind of things. There are certain things I won't get rid of. Like my blender, and because I use that quite often. And also my can't think of the name of it. It's not KitchenAid. It's one that does the chopping and the slicing of the vegetables. You can do the cheese in. God, I hate getting old. But that's what I'm doing this week. Loading up the car so I can take a load over tomorrow to Goodwill. And I'll take it over to Salvation Army if they actually have someone there to accept it. I have called. I prefer doing that over Goodwill because of the way that they give wages to people here in Pennsylvania that they use disabled. Kind of irritates me. But one of those two places, and hopefully Salvation Army will be open tomorrow because they're right around from where I'm meeting a group of ladies for lunch. So I'm hoping that they will indeed be there to accept the donations. And it's kind of where that's going at. Husband is just like freaking out totally. It's kind of fun. And I'll tell you why it's kind of fun. The man is OCD. Extremely OCD. I don't know if I've told you about how he does when we go to the grocery store. Things have to be in the cart a certain way. And I just put them in the cart. I put all the cold stuff together towards the front. He doesn't like it that way. He wants the water and the drinks in front, the cold in the middle. Yet, he's even OCD when it comes to putting things on the conveyor belt. And I let him do it. When I put things in the cart, he doesn't like the way it is, where it's at. We'll be moving along and I'll stop to get something else and he will rearrange the cart and I just wait. This mask mandate has driven him really rather nuts when it comes to unloading things onto the conveyor belt because you got to stay 6 feet apart, and then we have all those cashiers that want to wash it all down with the chemicals, and I'm thinking, why? Seriously, why? I would be more apt to wash my hands with hand sanitizer in between each customer than I would be to wipe a conveyor belt down that often. But okay, go for it. Which drives my husband's nut because he wants it dried off. And I understand because I don't want the chemicals. So, that portion of the grocery shopping is extremely stressful for my husband. And I understand that, but at times, I have to admit it cracks me up. Because I can see his mind going 100 miles a minute trying to figure out how he's going to get around this conveyor belt situation. And I'd like to help him, but I know he doesn't want my help because it'll just drive him a little further OCD. So I just let him do it, and then we go on. And then the rest of the afternoon is okay because on the way home, he's soothed and eased out of it. So that's a good thing. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Now, another reason I came on is because I have a few shout outs to give you. One of those is Heather, is HeartSong Creations, her channel. I believe she has 8 or 9 videos. I can't remember for sure. But it's nice to see new channels, up and coming channels come up. The next one is Crochet Every Day with Judy. Judy just put out this morning, I think, 2 videos. The first part and then the second part of her Happy Mail and Acquisitions, I believe. So check her out. And then there's Sigal. I am so glad that Sigal, finally, we get to see her in person on video. I'm hoping that Sigal will continue. So I've been enjoying seeing her. And the next one is Terri Mares Crochet. And I believe Terri and Judy are both from New Mexico. I know Judy is in Santa Fe, which is really in the mountains. But I'm not sure where Terri is. She has quite a few videos. I just haven't caught up on all of them yet. So please go check these guys out. And then there is one that I found yesterday, Lashera Crochet. Her videos, there are 3. One of them looked to be alive, but it never went anywhere. Or at least, when I played it, nothing happened. The other 2 are very short videos showing her creations. So check that out. Hopefully she will make some more videos soon. So those are the channels. I hope you enjoy them. And I'll see you again next week. And everybody have a great day. And remember, choose kindness.